Hey, everybody. I'm so excited about this podcast episode. So many people ask me about this all the time, and I'm finally doing an episode for you all. Today, we are talking about intro to course creation. So, if you've been thinking about starting a course, or you just don't know if that's really the next right move for you, that's what we're talking about. So, you can make that decision at the end of this episode. Stick around. You're listening to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast.
Welcome to Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast. And now your host, Meliss-Ep.327.
All right, today we're talking about intro to course creation. Why intro? Because course creation is a very big category. I can do an entire course on course creation, but in the time frame we have with the podcast, let's just dive into the few things you really need to have to just basic, raw, boom, 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 get your course out there. Now, before I start, I want to make a disclaimer. Make sure that you have an audience before you dive into course creation. I know it sounds really sexy to make money in your sleep and to have a course running so you have some passive income, but the reality is that if you don't have an audience, you won't be making passive income. You will be making a course and no one will buy it. And then there's a lot of work, effort, time, money, all of that goes into creating a course. And if no one's buying it at the other end, it really does become a waste. So we want to do this strategically in the right order. Courses are great after you've built your audience. So let's say you have your audience and this is your first course. What do we need to do? First of all, don't overcomplicate things. Okay, make it really, really easy, especially if it's your first course. There is something beautiful about putting out great content in a very quick, easy, laissez-faire type of way and be able to sell it and get your name out there and people get to really experience your teaching style versus having a highly produced course with very expensive software and not the right people are there, or you've spent thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to create it and you didn't even bring all those thousands of the dollars back into the business. So there's no ROI, no return on your investment. Many courses that you think wouldn't do well actually exceed the expectation because they're just so natural. They're so simple. They're so cut and dry. So I want you to understand that this is a positive. You don't have to spend a lot of money on expensive equipment. You just have to get started, and the right people who really need to hear your message will. So what I want you to do is start off with one main idea, one really big idea. This is like your umbrella idea. Take out a piece of paper if you are a paper and pen type of gal, or get on a Google Doc and set a timer for 10 minutes. And I want you to take your one main idea and break it down into 7 or 8 smaller pieces, bite-sized chunks. So if your main idea is to teach someone how to do something, your little bite-sized ideas could be step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that. Now, once you have these ideas, I want you to make an outline. So bullet points, or, like a real outline with ones and A's and dots and the whole thing. And there's no right or wrong answer. It's okay. This is just a brainstorm session. Just get everything you can out there. And literally every single step. If you have ever watched a Howcast video or any how-to video on YouTube, you will see that they literally give you step-by-step instruction. That's where we are going with this. You want to have step-by-step instruction, as though you were reading a manual on how to put a piece of furniture together. Although, much better than that. So you have your main idea, you break it into small ideas, and then you make an outline on each item. Now, I want you to leave it alone. I want you to sleep on it for at least 24 hours. You come back to your outline, and when you do, you have a fresh perspective. A fresh perspective is important. It's what's going to keep you moving forward and reevaluating so you are constantly putting out great work. If you sit in one sitting and do this whole entire thing, you might get a lot done, but it might not be the greatest quality work. So step away and then come back. And then I want you to take your bullet points and I want you to jumble up anything that could go here or there, or maybe copy it. It could fit in this one, and just move the ideas around until they are in a cohesive manner. Now, what I like to do once I've gotten to this point is figure out how many lessons I have, how many of those bite-sized pieces I have. Let's say I have 8 lessons. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of those little outlines and make their own Google Doc. So I don't have one Google Doc of 8 lessons. I have 8 Google Docs with 1 lesson each. Now you can save that and come back to each lesson at a time. I want you to think about how you're going to deliver this material. How are you going to deliver the lesson? What are you going to include? Is it going to have worksheets? Are you going to give lots of examples? Are there going to be videos? Are you filming yourself speaking? Are you recording the screen while you're clicking through things? Do you have slides and a voiceover? How are you delivering each lesson? And it doesn't have to be the same across the entire course. So what will it include and how will you deliver it? It's time to get laser focused this year and fill your group programs and one-on-one calendar once and for all. My 90-day business accelerator helps coaches and healers fill their group programs so they can scale their business, freeing up their time and making them more money than they made in the previous quarter. Visit go.melissmarketing.com/MWI, which stands for Marketing with Intention. See you there. Now, let's say we have, with our example, these 8 bite-sized pieces. Those are the main lessons. Now we're going to pop one thing up at the front and one thing down at the end. The first lesson is your intro. And in the intro, you're going to record a very short video. They're usually between 2 and 3 minutes long, unless you have a lot of things to share and point people towards things. But basically in the intro, you say hi, you introduce yourself, you congratulate them for purchasing the course. You tell them what they can expect, where they will find the content, how it will be delivered to them, and what those next steps are. Then each module is for each topic that you created. So you'll create that, you'll record it, however it is, however you decided to deliver it. And then you're going to have another video at the end, or another lesson rather, because they don't have to be videos, another lesson at the end. And this lesson at the end is a recap of what you covered, what they should have gotten out of it, and again, what those next steps are. Then you're going to record everything, put it in a platform, whether it's ClickFunnels or Kajabi or Thinkific or anything else, and then you're going to sell it. Now, to sell it, you're going to have to market it first. And that's what next time's podcast episode will be about. So I hope this helps. Congratulations for thinking about creating your course. That's super exciting. Don't get discouraged if your first course bombs. It happens and it's okay. Get back up and do it again. I've created several courses, so many programs, lots of kits, and that is part of the fun. And some have done better than others. And the ones that have done really well, I have built more into them and made them more robust. And things that didn't do so well, I set them aside, I reevaluated, and I was able to reuse that content in other ways, or even create a similar thing that incorporated all that content in a different way. So it's never a waste. Be patient, have fun with it, and your next course will be a success. And now you know how to create your first course. Good luck.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Tips with Meliss podcast at www.marketingtipswithmeliss.com.
Hey, coaches and healers, it's time to feel supported in your business. Head on over to our free community to get access to my best resources for free. I'm talking marketing tips, business strategy, feedback, and so much more. Join now at magneticmarketingmastermind.com. See you there.